Hi guys, Manny from the Good Podcast here. Hoping that everybody is staying safe, keeping up with their social distancing. I know that right now it's kind of a weird time, really is. Being told not to leave your house is way different from I just don't want to go anywhere. Completely different. And I think that there's so much that has been going on as far as things that we're taking for granted, and one of them is movie theaters. Um, so Terrence and I used to work at Blockbuster Video, and I remember there'd be times where we just wanted to read cover boxes. We just wanted to read covers and straighten the theater. I mean, straighten the store, and go to covers and read all these different cover boxes, and we would rent a majority of the movies that we saw, for the covers because they look interesting, Um, and when Redbox came and Netflix came, and all of that went away, and fast forwarding to now, we used to always talk about our 4Ks and Blu-rays and all of that type of media. Is it gone? Is it over? Never in a million years that I would ever think that it would be relevant to movie theaters now as well. Um, there's been a lot of titles that have been pushed back because of this pandemic, and rightfully so. Very difficult to social distance when you're inside of a movie theater, especially when you're in line in concessions or buying tickets, or whatever the case may be. But you just would never think that this could happen. I remember telling a group of employees about 30 days without, like, Disney without any customers for 30 days, and now this has actually happened, and it's pretty shocking. But with movie theaters, that is the number one out of home source of entertainment that you could ever want to go to. It's cheap. A lot of people's marriages start. A lot of people's first dates that lead to marriages start at movie theaters. So there's a lot of things about movie theaters that are really they're really important, and a lot of studios have released a lot of their content on streaming, uh, video on demand, and that sort of things. Trolls just premiered not too long ago, just premiered and did very well. Is that the future, though? Is that the future? I don't think so, honestly. I always fight with Terrence when it comes to media, physical media, like CDs, like DVDs and Blu-rays and all that stuff, because I honestly believe that if anything ever happens, obviously like this, we always have that. We always have that physical media that we can still use no matter what. The Luckily, internet's not gone down, but let's just say that it did. Let's say the internet did go down and you weren't able to watch anything. Boom, you still got physical media. Well, with movie theaters, I honestly don't want it to happen. I think that movie theaters are just as important. They are the physical media. That's the relation there, I guess. And that is that you take it for granted. You don't. A lot of people are starting to understand and realize that movie theaters are really important. And now, like I said, they've studios have put things on video on demand and all that good stuff, which is fine. But that's not. You don't necessarily get everything as being in a crowd, watching a show, and getting that reaction and understanding, and how it makes other people feel, and those emotions that a feature can bring. In 1983, when Darth Vader picked up the Emperor and threw him over the arc reactor, the applause that it got was something that I will never forget. And here I am, I'm in my mid 40s, and I still remember that. It's just one of those experiences that you just don't forget, and that's what movie theaters do. You can't get that, really. It's not going to be the same video on demand. Movie theaters they bring out that emotion. Currently, right now, the crowd reaction for a lot of scenes in Avengers Endgame is going viral, and it's because of the crowd. People are very important, and in more ways than one. Everybody's a part of each other's story, whether we like it or not. And and with movie theaters, you meet people, you have interactions with people, and it's fun. It's really good. Now, obviously, there's a lot of introverts and a lot of people that don't really care for to talk to people and meet people. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's really, it kind of just gives you that kind of change in your life. It disrupts your routine by someone saying hi that normally wouldn't, or you locking eyes with somebody that you normally wouldn't. It just kind of disrupts your routine a little bit when you go out and you go to a film, and when you're looking at that screen and the lights go off and boom, trailers. You got the trailers. I love trailers. Sometimes I think they give away too much, but overall I love trailers, and no trailers going on right now. You get something video on demand, watching a trailer is not the same. It's just, you YouTube it, it's the same thing. But watching it on the big screen and getting that excitement and the anticipation for an upcoming title, I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. Force Awakens, oh man. Force Awakens is, that whole sequel trilogy just ended recently with Rise of Skywalker. Very divisive, right? But when that trailer came out and I watched it on the big screen, it was amazing. And the freaking anticipation of wanting to go see that movie just grew and grew and grew. I mean, it was Star Wars, but regardless. But trailers, something that you gotta have when you go to the feature, right? And then the music and the score, especially if you have a good score, the music just uplifts you. You just think of the score from Superman. When I saw Superman 2 in the theater, and that score in the very beginning after, you will bow down before me, Jor-El, you will bow down, and then ding, and the whole score comes on, John Williams does this thing. I mean, wow. And I remember that still to this day, because that's how much the sound and the visual and everything that, watching Superman 2 in the movie theater, it did for me. Another example, I know I didn't introduce this as I'm giving all these examples, but it's just popping into my head because I'm very passionate when it comes to movie theaters, and I work for one, and it's not the same. It's just a big part of me is missing. Even though I see it every day, there's a lot that's missing. But going back, and it kind of relates to watching something on TV versus the big screen. Like all 80s little boys out there, they're all my age now. But hey, Transformers was a big thing, right? So seeing Transformers on a small screen, and then watching Transformers the movie on the big screen, listening to you got the touch, and seeing Prime just blow up Megatron, and Megatron actually winning that fight, right, Jeff? But it's just not the same, and it's a completely, you see something that you're normally looking at on a small screen, and you see that, and it makes you look at the product completely different because of what's on screen. And that is just one of the things about movie theaters, that it's something that I hope never does go away. And I know right now it does, there's hope. Big titles, tentpole movies have been pushed back, and we'll eventually get them, and God willing, everything does work out, and this thing dies out, and we can go back to a little bit of normalcy. We'll be able to do that, but I really hope that it doesn't turn into a Redbox thing or a Netflix thing where we lose Blockbuster Video, we lose Hollywood Video, and because we have this new convenience. And I think because we are so overwhelmed with convenience right now, it's causing a lot of people to actually appreciate going out and doing things, and going and sitting down at a restaurant, having a conversation in a restaurant, watching a movie together, enjoying experience of the film together, sitting down and lounging and talking about the film, or being in the car talking about the film. What's your favorite part? Oh, I like this part, and so forth. And I know that that I don't think that you can take that away. I don't think that the movie theater should and will go away. I think that that's gonna stay with us, and I hope that everybody, now that we're in this kind of in this isolation, realize that movie theaters are still very relevant, very important, and it's just something that we can really enjoy, not just by ourselves, but with everyone. People, total complete freaking strangers. You go to a Spurs game and you're high-fiving strangers because we won. Same thing with movie theaters, especially if it's a tentpole movie like an Endgame or Star Wars or whatever the case. Uh, but I hope that we get to open up soon. And I'm not just saying where I work, but I'm talking about like all the movie theaters in the nation. I know AMC is not looking good right now, and it's unfortunate. But hey, sometimes expansion is not a good thing. But it is something that I hope that we don't lose, and I hope that everybody rushes to the movie theaters when we do open, when everybody opens. It doesn't matter what branch is out there. It doesn't matter what company. It does not. None of that matters. The film and the art and the enjoyment and everyone being together and experiencing it together with different viewpoints, and whether it's being a troll and being negative, or actually appreciating it, or finding that middle ground, whatever the case may be. So yeah, that's all I had. That's all I wanted to talk about. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think, and stay safe out there. And hopefully we'll see you at the movie soon. All right, take care.